When looking at a classic anime retrospectively, it can often be very easy or very difficult to understand why it's considered a classic. That's due to the fact that these classics often spawn a bunch of clones that try to improve on the previous faults of the show. Literally look at any Jump title and you'll see what I'm talking about. Dragon Ball birthed the big three, which birthed these new gen shonen anime like My Hero or Jujutsu Kaisen. And when compared to the likes of My Hero or One Piece, Dragon Ball looks very antiquated. But not all classics age poorly. Some of them age really well. Take a look at Evangelion or Akira, which remain popular and influential to this day. And despite having influenced so many shows, Evangelion and Akira and many other classics still feel fresh. So then you have to sit down and wonder, what makes a classic? As Giguk once said, classics need three things: impact, quality, and staying power. And if the anime is missing one of the three, chances are it's probably never gonna be considered a classic. Oftentimes we'll watch some of the best anime become more along the lines of cult classics, and that's due to the fact that not everyone watches anime. I often feel like impact and staying power are the hardest ones to achieve because anyone can write a good story, but writing a good story that's relevant and stays relevant is really hard to do. Think about it like this: are Marvel movies the best movies to ever come out? No, of course not. But through the legacy that the MCU has built, these films are probably going to go down as classics that redefine the film industry. They had enough quality and impact to break past just the diehard fans and reach out to normal people. And right now in the anime industry, I feel like we're watching the final moments of the creation of a classic. At the time of writing this video, Attack on Titan is the most popular television show airing right now. Television show, not anime. Quick editor's note, turns out Attack on Titan has dropped to 4th most popular in the US. First place is WandaVision, then we got Firefly Lane, and then we have The Sinner. It's competing with the likes of WandaVision for popularity right now, and it's competing with the likes of Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad for popularity of all time. And on top of all of that, every single Sunday, Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin is trending on Twitter. Without exception. And I'm not saying trending on Twitter like Demon Slayer's episode 19 was. I mean every Sunday trending on Twitter over something new that just got revealed. And after competing with Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl, Attack on Titan still managed to hit the trending page and stay on it multiple hours after the episode aired. So when looking at traits of a classic, I feel like impact won't be an issue with this anime, as it's currently no longer even competing in the realm of anime, but in the realm of greater television. Attack on Titan is on the Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones level of impact. It's one of those anime that's the perfect mix of writing and accessibility. It has depth, but it's not too difficult to analyze. And on top of that, it has enough popularity that a single name drop of this on a YouTube video, web article, or tweet will get people to take a second look at it. I mean, my first video to hit 1 million views on TikTok was an Attack on Titan video. And it's a no-brainer that Attack on Titan's this good. It's a quality story. People that say Attack on Mid or slander Attack on Titan do so in order to get views and engagements on their post because they don't know any other way to do so. The show does have valid criticisms, I'll give you that, but it is a very solid story. But this video isn't a video to analyze the quality of Attack on Titan. I want to look at the third and most important aspect of being a classic: staying power. Staying power is the hardest aspect of a classic to predict before the show is even over. But since we only have 2 chapters left in the manga, I believe we can already start to piece together how this will go down in history. And don't worry, there's not going to be any manga spoilers in this video. As a manga reader, I trust Isayama to write a good ending for the series. But I really want to look at how will this ending stick with us over the years. And to see that, we have to really kind of try to grasp what is the main idea of Attack on Titan. And that's because the common thread that links together every classic across every medium is that they manage to tell a story that remains relevant years or even decades after their original writing. For example, a literary classic like 1984 is more relevant today than when Orwell wrote it in 1948. It provided an insightful look into society and human issues that only grew in relevancy since it was written. In terms of anime classics, we can take one quick look at Evangelion and instantly realize why it stuck around for so long. Eva captures human emotion and portrays them in a way that few anime do. It even warns against the escapism often sought by anime fans trying to immerse themselves into a new show. My point is, classics often tell far more than just a story. They connect with us on an emotional and human behavioral level. They keep us thinking, and that's what allows them to stick around for so long. So, where does Attack on Titan fall into all of this? Why do I label it an instant classic? And what depth does the story hold? At its core, Attack on Titan is a very simple story. It's a story about humans fighting giants. A story about David and Goliath. If you guys don't know what David and Goliath is, here's a quick breakdown. So David is this shepherd, untrained soldier, just a normal kid basically. Goliath is this huge 9-foot tall soldier, giant man, never lost a fight, right? So then Goliath challenges David's people to send out a champion for him to battle. When everyone else refused, David stepped in. Nobody on David's side thought David would win, but David managed to pull through in the end and take down this giant colossal man. Back to Attack on Titan. Ever since season 1, we've been watching a story of David and Goliath. Humanity trying to take down something that's bigger than themselves. At the start of season 1, it is way more literal than at the later seasons, with humanity literally having to take on giant titans. But as the story progresses and we learn more about titans and titan shifters, the whole idea of David and Goliath starts to become a little bit more abstract. So, quick spoiler warning, if you aren't caught up to date to episode 69, I believe, of Attack on Titan, pause the video right now, catch up on Attack on Titan anime, and you'll be good to go. I'd argue that the idea of David and Goliath only grows as we stray away from the titans. As our heroes or the scouts begin to learn more about the outside world, they begin to face even harder challenges than just killing giant man-eating titans. They start by just fighting these brainless titans and then go to fight titan shifters, which are able to fight back. And then after that, they aim to take down their own oppressive government. And then following that, a whole war starts. And in this current war, they're having to take on their most difficult opponent, a deeply ingrained racial hatred that has been around for more than 2,000 years. That's the hatred between the Eldians and the Marleyans. And if you still don't agree with me that Attack on Titan is a story about David and Goliath representing humanity as a whole, overcoming these gigantic obstacles, I inquire you to look at one thing that I think is often really overlooked with Attack on Titan, and that's the character design. I feel like Attack on Titan may have the most genius character design ever done. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's like 5 looks in Attack on Titan. We got the bald military commander, dark hair female, dark hair male, blonde male. And that's it. That's the character design that I think is extremely genius. Attack on Titan doesn't suffer the anime protagonist syndrome. Nobody really stands out, and if you haven't watched the anime before, you probably assume the majority of the cast to be just background characters. And this was intentionally done. It wasn't a lack of artistic skill on Isayama's part. When looking at the latter arcs, there's no real protagonist. We haven't really seen Eren's point of view since season 4 started. If you started watching it just season 4 and didn't know anything about season 1 through 3, it would be impossible for you to find a main character. And that's because over the course of these 10 episodes that we've had so far, the perspective has changed almost every 2 episodes. In the final season, we're watching something much bigger than one character. We're watching humanity struggle. Both sides are struggling, and they're both trying to find the correct solution to this ongoing war. And the whole purpose of the Marley arc was to illustrate that even the people fighting for Marley, which has been painted in a villainous light up until now, have backstories and families that they care about, and they have their own reasons to fight. Personally, my favorite scene from this new season was the conversation between Willie Tiber and Commander Magath. In this conversation, Magath turns to Tiber and says, "Yes, the Eldians are spawn of the devil, but we are devils ourselves." This sentence illustrates the entire point of Attack on Titan. It captures how both sides are trapped in the cycle of hatred that only spawns more hatred. Gabby's character is also critical to the idea of raising new devils. Now, I know a lot of people may not like Gabby because she shot Sasha, but come on guys, just hear me out for this one. Gabby was raised like Eren, within walls, and she was only promised freedom if she could defeat the people that she saw as monsters. Gabby was promised that if she and the other warriors managed to take down the Paradise Eldians, they would be granted freedom for themselves and their entire people. Just like how Eren believed that if he killed all the Titans, his people would be free. The problem is, None of these beliefs were true. Based off of what we know about Marley, they would probably take one of two paths if the Eldians of Paradise managed to be killed. They would either 1. Kill all of the Eldians that they are controlling, or 2. Place them in even tighter restrictions to have a monopoly on Titan warfare. And as we see right now with Eren, having killed all of the Titans didn't solve any of his problems. In fact, it only brought about more. As Eren learned the truth about the new world, he was forced down a narrower path to freedom. And in his pursuit of freedom, Eren himself became chained down by the racial hatred that he sought to escape. And this narrow path that Eren is currently walking down passed on to Gabby when he attacked Marley and gave Gabby enough rage to go and kill Sasha. We as viewers are watching this cycle of hatred continue. At the start of the series, we watched as Reiner passed it on to Eren, and right now we're watching Eren pass it on to Gabby. And to break this cycle of hatred, they either have to A. manage to break free of it somehow, or B. commit to genocide and leave it so that there is no one else left to harbor hate towards them. Looking at it retrospectively, it seems almost impossible to end this cycle. But as we see through characters like Armin or Falco, there is hope to break free of it without killing people. And I feel like we're gonna see humanity come out on top at the end of the series. Because at the end of the day, Attack on Titan is the ultimate David and Goliath story. And it's extremely relevant today, that's why it's so popular. How do we as humans manage to break free from hatred and polarization and manage to be unified again and love each other? This is a question that no politician could answer today. And it's an issue that I feel like will only grow in relevance over time as we as a human race strive to become more inclusive and loving towards others. And that's why I believe Attack on Titan has so much staying power. It tackles this complex issue and tries to offer its own solution to it. It examines what conditions lead to such hatred, and if it can truly be avoided. It also offers philosophical takes on the meaning of life and what it means to be free. The depth of Attack on Titan is what will allow it to stay relevant for so long. People are going to be thinking about this and pondering on the message of the show for years, maybe even decades after it ends. And I feel like once we've watched the final episode, we'll realize why this becomes an instant classic. And if it turns out that I'm wrong and the ending for Attack on Titan is a complete flop, be sure to click that subscribe button down below and the little notification bell icon right next to it so that you don't miss my opinions when that happens. And that wraps it up for this video, guys. Thanks again for watching till the end, it means a lot. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below, letting me know if you guys want to see some more Attack on Titan content. Literally, it's been all I can think about recently, as it's literally the most popular show on the internet right now. But yeah, that wraps it up, and until next time, peace out, guys.